come into your course. This is known as your landing page. Your welcome announcements here. All of your announcements will show up on this left side. Over here, there's this activity feed, create a post. If you have questions or something you want to ask for the group, if something comes up for you today that you didn't think about asking, you can toss it on there and we can talk about it there. It's just an open forum for you. Over on the right, there's my information. Clearly, everybody got the class link who's here today, so that's great. I do have office hours on Tuesdays from 1 to 3, and also from Fridays from 9 to 12. There's a link there if you'd like to meet via Zoom. Just send me an email and let me know that you'd like to meet. There's also a Calendly link, particularly if I'm also your advisor when we meet in October. This is BrainFuse. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with it. It is new this semester. I have not had a good chance to get in there and look at it, but it is some online tutoring opportunities. I've heard that it's pretty good. So there's that there. And maybe if you fish around in there, you can ask me questions and I can find out the answer, or you can tell me a bit about it. So feel free to look at that. Across the top left here, we have activities. This is a way that you can look into your assignments, your discussions, your quizzes. You can go directly to those places from there. And then in your tools, your announcement, again, there's that BrainFuse tutoring link. Your rubrics are listed in there, and then your grades. Go back over to content. We'll look at the Start Here section, just welcoming you. The course orientation video, this recording will go there once we get that done. Groups class is going to be all about learning how to facilitate, do groups. A lot of it'll be intertwined with some of the things that you either learned already in interviewing and counseling skills or will be learning when you take interviewing and counseling skills. We'll be talking about some of the same things. Again, attendance is critical for this course. It is a requirement that you attend, have your camera on, and actively engage and participate, because the course is meant to be very experiential. It's for you to experience this, to touch it, feel it, see it, do it, and learn as you're going about and get feedback as you're doing it. Take a look at your course schedule. Your course schedule is set up in 7 modules and 2 weeks in each module. It's going to tell you here what you need to do, things we're going to talk about, and then on this side over here to the right, it's going to show you what your assignments are. I see several of you have already went ahead and done that, done the first discussion post. Thank you for that. And just we're going to keep moving on. You'll see all the different things that are due each week. Your first exam is going to be due in that week 5 and 6 module. Your exams, you'll have 2 attempts. The highest attempt is the one that will count. And again, through the different assignments that you'll have, discussions and papers, couple papers there. This create your own group assignment you'll be doing. And then your second exam will be in the week of 11 and 12. So this one's just set up with a midterm and a final. And then you'll be doing your paper. On your self-assessment, you're going to do that in week 1, and you'll do it again in the end and compare your results to that. All right. Any questions with the flow? Things will be due. Do remember that the course schedule can change depending on how we do and how we progress, our progression through the course together as a class. Your Zoom link is there, instructor information. The best way to contact me is usually email. Usually I will answer your email within 24 hours. If it takes me 48 hours, you might want to reach out, call the office, send a second email, because that's kind of unlike me. So feel free to reach out a second time. I never mind, like, hey, friendly reminder, I didn't hear anything. So I wouldn't be bothered by that. I tend to appreciate reminders. My phone number, the office phone number is on there. My Google number is on there. The Google number, I'd prefer for you to reserve that for emergencies, but you can text it. Again, just like many of you, I have several different things going on. So in the evening, I'm oftentimes at the other part of my job. So if I can't answer you immediately, I will usually text back at some point, probably the next day, but you're welcome to send something on there. That's how you prefer to communicate. This is a list of your evaluation measures. You can take a look at that if you like it in that form, but we're going to review the syllabus, so there's no need in being redundant and looking over that twice. Let's go ahead and look over your syllabus. Syllabus, as I'm sure you know, everyone's taken enough classes to understand that the syllabus is the outline of what you're going to learn, right? How the things that we teach in this class relate to you completing your degree. You got your core course performances, your measurable performances, all of your assignments and your capstone, your big paper and things. Those are all based upon the syllabus to make sure we're teaching you what we say we're going to teach you. The exams are worth 40% of your grade. So that's kind of a big part. So you really want to make sure that you're planning well for them. Your written proposal, the paper that you're going to write to propose a group, that's 15%. Your group session, where you're going to actually run a group in this class, you and your co-facilitator, that's 20% of your grade. And then everything else pretty much goes under the heading of the formative, which is 25% of your grade, making for your total grade. So any questions? Mute yourself and color it out. Course expectations. Oh, no wonder, Nicole, you didn't see the book. It should be right here. Tell me if it's not updated.
It was in my other class as well. When I was trying to look for the book, it wouldn't tell me, because in the like the I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to say it at the moment. But the thing that's due, they were like in your text, and I was like, but I don't see a book. So that's what
I will have to go back to this. That out. That's a picture of the book. Take a copy, ISBN number. Not for anyone. Just ignore that part of it. The ISBN number starts with a 9. So you'll notice that each of your assignments has a due date and then an end date. The due date is obviously when it's due for the maximum amount of points. The end date is most of the assignments that you have a 7-day grace period attached to them. So if life happens and you can't get it in, then you're just going to submit it within that window before it closes, but you will see 15% of your grade deducted. So I will grade it, give you the grade that you get, and then from there, take off 15%. So that's how that works. Attendance, of course, is part of the grading in here. Your discussion boards, I don't know, I mean, I'm guessing this is pretty similar across all of your courses, where you'll have your first discussion post. You will do your initial one on Thursday, and then you'll respond to 2 peers by Sunday. If you do need to meet with me or you need some help, communicate often. If you're falling behind or life happens, please let me know. Please, please, please reach out. If you experience an illness or something is going on, I may need documentation to support that, but if that's the case, then I can help you out with the due dates as we go along, okay? Of course, so we can. look at this. This is actually the college-wide policies and procedures for all the human service classes that you will take. Goes through communication, talks the same thing about late work, says submitted within 5 days of the original due date, but it's 7 for this course. So most things are going to be due on a Sunday. That gives you till Saturday. The next Saturday would be the official close date. Feedback, I try to give you your feedback as quickly as I can. I do have an expectation that if I point out areas for you to make a change, that in the next assignments, I will see that change. We do use APA in here. Is everybody familiar with APA? Have any issues with writing or anything like that? The Writing Center is available to you. There are resources. Your quizzes, again, you'll have 2 attempts. The highest attempt will count. Quizzes now are only open for 7 days. There's no extenuating end date for that, other than the start and the end, that's it. Same thing for discussion. So the only thing that really has that grace period window are the actual assignments. The discussion posts, when they close, they close. They won't be reopened unless, again, there's some extenuating circumstances that you share and can show documentation for. So that finishes us up. Finishes us up with that. Now we'll take a look at the different modules over here. Be a little introduction. Each module is set up the same. There'll be an overview, part of the lessons. Then there'll be some supporting documents here for you. You are going to use this self-assessment here to do this very first journal. So take a look at that. You're going to go through here and answer these to the best of your ability, how you feel, what you think the best answer is right now. And then you'll do this again at the end and you'll write a reflection about that. That's one of your first assignments that are due. Stop the share by accident, sorry. And obviously you'll submit all of your work through D2L. Nothing will come to me via email or hard copy. Everything will go right into D2L. If you do have a problem with D2L crashing or something of that nature, please automatically put in a help ticket and do a screenshot of that help ticket so I know exactly what time you presented that at. So that's kind of your documentation and proof if you're having some kind of technical issues. That would allow me to reset a test for you or extend an assignment or anything like that, okay? Same thing, each one is going to go through this, walk through the same thing, give you that overview, talk about the lessons, talk about the assignments, and then have some extra resources and things like that that you may need in here to do it. Now, some of the work that we're going to do, we're actually going to be doing in class, which will be good. I hope for you anyway, that it'll make your life easier. That's the point, is for us to do things together. And I do want it to be as easy and painless for you as possible. So some of the things that we do, we'll actually be doing in class. If we look at the assignments up here through the activities page, then we can just kind of look at each assignment. The journal 1 we looked at, there's a journal 2, another reflection, then there's the case study. Allie, I believe that one, we'll check. That's one we were going to talk about in class. Oh, the 21st here. Yep, the case study of Allie. So that's the one we're going to work on in class together. So hopefully that'll help out the way. Then let's talk a little bit about your written proposal. This is where you're going to pair up someone else in the group and you're going to decide on what topic you want to do. It's going to be a psychoeducational group, which there's a lot of information about that in chapter 1. And we're going to go over it. Hopefully we might probably get to some of that today. And so start thinking now about what kind of group you want to facilitate to your classmates. Something psychoeducational, whether it's study skills, time management, adjusting to school, and something else that just left me. Felt like it was a good one too, but it's gone. Something like that. And then you're going to plan for when you will actually do the group. There's a template here for you. It's going to step you right through everything that you want. It's already done. Your headings are there. What your rationale will be, your objectives, your practical consideration, your procedures, your evaluation methods, and your conclusion, and then some samples for some references. But obviously, you're going to take them out, have your own references. So that will be there for you. And then there's also sample. Proposal example for you to see. And the information. On your student-led group, this is where I will update that.
I'm not seeing anything on the screen.
Look, it says stop share up there in yellow. Sorry about that. That's good because I didn't find what I was after anyway, so. How long it was you couldn't see. Back here. The gist of it is each one of these content areas over here are going to follow that same similar thing. I don't think you guys need me to bore you with opening up every single one and showing you that there's an overview in every one. I'm pretty sure you get it. I'll look back at the course schedule. I thought I had it on here. We're gonna have to set it up in these last, you see, we don't have anything set up for week 15. So we'll definitely probably be doing groups into that day, but start thinking about when during these last few weeks you want to go ahead and present with your group member. You want to do your group. You know, are you one of those people that just like to get it done, or do you want to wait and see how a couple people go, right? I see Alex shaking his head. I feel like even with the orientation, with the meet and greet with everybody, he's like, me, I'll go. So I feel like I get the sense that Alex is going to be like, sign me up the first day. I'm ready to go and get it done. Is that right, Alex?
I shared with Matt, I run groups for a living. My title's group facilitator, so
that's great. That's great. We're actually going to get into that really soon. So great. We're gonna be relying on you heavily then.
Okay. No, I didn't say all that.
No, oh, we can't rely on you heavily. Okay. Rely on you slightly.
That'll work.
Okay, got it. Good. So that's the gist of that. Does anybody have any more questions right now? I know it's hard to kind of describe it all at this moment, but any questions that come up for you about the assignments that you're going to do? Everybody think about that TED Talk. Did anyone do the discussion post for the TED Talk? What'd you think about that as a lead into group?
I felt like he could have went more in depth with it.
Yeah.
Like I liked it, but I felt like he could have explained more of what he got out of the group and how he really felt. I mean, he kind of gave me borderline instead of in depth. I get it. It was wasn't much to talk about, but it wasn't like I really got the gist. Like, you know how people talk about like NA and AA and they're like, yeah, but you can't say anything because of HIPAA and all of that good stuff. So it's kind of surface level. But then once you get deep into it and you're really passionate, like people are about faith and all of that, and they get down into it, and that makes you like, wow, I really want to, check this out. But it didn't, like, you know,
Okay, so you would have liked the part 2 that would have told you, more of the activities and some of the specific things that he did that helped him move.
yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, going off of what she just said, based off the questions that were asked for the discussion board, I feel like you had to really think outside the box to answer those questions, because when you watch the TED Talk, like, he didn't really describe anything that any of the questions were asking. That he did to a certain extent, but not to the fullest. Yeah, you really had to think about those questions based off that TED Talk.
Yes, I agree with that. I noticed that too. I think that part of it is that you really kind of had to imagine what went in that group, like what kind of things. I hear you saying, and Ashley Nicole mentioned kind of very specifically, like, wait, what happened? What went on? What were the activities? So did anybody else feel that way, that you began to wonder what more there was in that? Than Ashley and Nicole? Anybody else? Other thoughts on it? I felt like it really spoke to the power of groups, that it made such a significant change in his life. And it also really spoke to groups can happen in any setting. I don't know, sometimes we just kind of think that when we're incarcerated, it's just kind of holding and whatever. But, I think that highlighted some of the change that can happen. And I wondered, with his particular situation, the group seemed to really be good because he had a connection with others who were like him, like normalizing. Alex, would you say that if you do a lot of groups, do you find that one of the most powerful things is actually normalizing the process for people?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. My